Is the pit barrel worth your money? And is it easy to use? And is it dependable? And does it last a while? We're going to answer all that. Stick around and we'll get into it. So today I'm looking at a product that I have had for 4 years. It's not brand spanking new. The shine's done wore off and it's a little dirty. And I'm not cleaning it up for you, so just bear with it. But I want you to see what it looks like in its natural habitat, okay? Seriously, I want to talk about this pit barrel cooker. I want to break it down for you and show you the pros and cons of this thing. Is it truly set it and forget it? Does it make good barbecue? All that good stuff. We're going to talk about it. So when I bought this, it come with just a few things. Of course, the drum. You can see I think it's a 30-gallon drum. This is the original pit barrel cooker, by the way. So it come with the drum, of course. Come with some meat hooks. I had 6 with mine. And you've got this little tool here to use to get the hooks off of the rebar. Comes with a fuel basket there. You can see that. And then this right here, these are the 2 pieces of rebar that go through the holes. I'll show you that in a minute. And then what they're sitting on is a ring that the drum sits on. And of course your grilling area there. So that's basically what it came with. And it's a good starter drum, something to get started with. Don't require a lot of experience. I had 0 experience smoking meat when I bought this, and I bought it because people claimed it was a set it and forget it kind of deal. Not a lot of fuss and stuff about it. So now let's look at how we set it up. So when you first get your drum, the only setting and adjustment that there is on this thing is this little door here, and it's got 1 screw there, and you set this gap here by your elevation. And you can go on Google and type in what's the elevation of my city, and it'll tell you that. And then pit barrel will give you the dimensions that gap needs to be. That's it. And once you set it, you don't mess with it again, according to pit barrel. So that's the only adjustment. So once you've adjusted it, all you do is take your basket, and you can go ahead and fill this up with your coals or whatever you're cooking with and put it in the bottom. And I'm going to show you some tips about that in a second. But just set that down in the bottom like that. And then you'll put your grate in there. And then next is just putting in the rebar. It'll only go one way. And there's your complete setup. Like I said, I'll show you how to get the fire going here in a second and some tips about that. And then you put your old handy dandy lid on and let it warm up. So now there's the setup. It's got the lid on. Now we'll talk about some accessories you can get for it that I highly recommend. Okay, so when I bought mine, I got some accessories that went with it as well. You get a chimney starter. I got a grate that collapses down like this, so you can hang on one side and cook on the other. Now if you opt to get that grate there, you see, as you can see, I've got one side drop down, and you can hang your ribs here, your turkey breast, and over here you can have your chuck roast or Boston butt or whatever you're cooking. But you have to have these rebars in. You can't leave them out because that's how they regulate the temperature, is the way it's set up. I mean, if you want to run it hot, you can take them out for a little bit to like crisp up chicken or something like that. But it's recommended you have to cook with them in. And by the way, this is a neat way to just hang your stuff off when you're doing your work. You can just hang it off the side of the handles there. And also got a turkey hanger or a bird hanger, chicken hanger. I got a cover, and I also got a steel pan to go under the where the coals go to catch the ashes. That's an ash pan, I think is what they call it. So those are some of the accessories that I got. And if you opt to go ahead and get the ash pan, this here's got some little clamps down at the bottom. All it does is sits on there and you twist it, and when you pull it out, All the ashes and coals pretty much, or unburnt coals, come out with it. You don't have to worry about dumping your barrel upside down. You can take this and dump it in your ash pile or whatever. I think that makes life easier, so if you opt to get that, that is a good thing. This, like I said, this is so valuable because even if you're only doing one big piece of meat on this side and not hanging anything over here, you can add some coals if you got it upside down, and you can flip it over this way and cook on the whole thing, or you can do it this way. But you can add coals at a later time if you're doing a long cook or something like that. So that's important. I like this. I think that's well worth the money. I've used the turkey hanger a couple times for chickens and things like that. You can just put that in there, and I'll show you how that setup works in a second. This I don't use anymore. I did when I first started, but I found an easier way in my book. Pit Barrel's got a whole segment on how to properly light your barrel, and it's, if you want to do it their way, that's fine. I'm going to show you the way I do it, and it seems to do just as well, and it's a whole lot easier in my opinion. But so if you're going to smoke a bird, turkey or chicken, this is 2 pieces, and you just put your bird on there, and you can hang it like that. And then we have our meat hooks. There's all kinds of applications for these. They just hang in there like that, and you can put a turkey breast on there, ribs. Everybody brags about, and I agree, that this is a rib cooking machine. So you can hang several racks of ribs in here and with no problem. All right, let's talk about pros and cons for just a second. The first pro is that it's made in America. It is veteran-owned company that produces these things, so that is a pro. Another pro is the simplicity of it all. You've seen what it takes to operate it. Not a lot to it. Just put your fuel in, put your meat on pretty much, and run with it. The learning curve is very, very little because, like I said, I've never smoked anything in my life until I bought this. So easy to use. Is it set it and forget it? I believe it is. You sort of have to keep an eye on it and things like that, but hey, as long as the fire's running, she's good. Another pro, the food is delicious. I mean, I'm ruined. I can't go to a regular barbecue joint anymore because I just like the stuff that comes off of this so much. Another pro, it's pretty versatile. I mean, you can do a lot of things with this little drum. You can customize a few things and do a couple things with it that are pretty neat. There's some groups out there on how to hack this thing and do some other things with. So there is some flexibility in what you can do beyond what Pit Barrel recommends. But if you're into hacking stuff and making it better, hey, go for it. Another pro, I've had it 4 years now, and it's holding up really well. Except for a few things I'll show you here in just a minute. It's holding up really well. So yeah, as far as cons go, there's only 2 things that I can think of. I've brainstormed about it that come to mind that I didn't like about this. And one is this cover that come with the accessories. It lasted maybe a year, and it got brittle and it started getting holes in it. And it's not the best quality cover. And mine's been sitting in the weather, so you can put this back under pro. This has been sitting out in the weather on its stand, not on the ground, on its stand, for at least two and a half years maybe. And it's holding up just fine, sitting out here in the weather, okay? But this cover, I mean, there's probably better ones out there. The other con is the grate that comes with it. It does the job, and it works. But I think it should come with the one that collapses, because here's the thing. If you've got 2 Boston butts sitting on here and you've got a long smoke going and the coals start going out or the fuel starts going out, you have to remove the rebar, you have to remove this and do something with your food. And then if you've got probes hooked up, you've got to disconnect, move all that around just to add fuel to the bottom. So if you got the collapsible one, at least you can drop some coals on the side. If you don't have it full of stuff, you can drop some coals through that way. That's not a deal breaker for me. I mean, I've learned about how long stuff takes, and I've added some extra coals and things like that, but I wish the other one would have just came stock with it. That's just my opinion. But yeah, that's the only two cons really. And I'm going to give you a close look at the drum itself after 4 years and let you see how it's holding up, and so you can get an idea of that too. As far as the drum itself, and I didn't clean anything up a whole lot or anything like that. I just pretty much left it in its running order, so forgive me for it being dirty and not shining like a new one, because it's not one. But let me just show you a couple little things. That the barrel, the quality of the finish on the barrel is still in great shape. The only thing is over here where they've put these handles, those have rusted. The paint chipped off pretty early on with that. Anywhere there's screws, of course, the paint chipped off of those and it's gone. Up here, another handle, the paint's gone. Not a big deal, not a deal. It's not rusted out by any means. But yeah, I mean, the finish is held up good. The inside, you know, it's well seasoned. As you can see, it's been used a lot. The basket down in the bottom still in good shape. The dustpan or the ash pan still in good shape. I have no complaints about how it's held up after 4 years, and I'm not going to, but if I turn it upside down, the bottom is intact, no rust there. And I think that as long as you keep it on that stand, that helps a little bit there. And just another thing, if you're using this, make sure you're using it on a safe surface. Don't set it on something that's flammable. I've got this on concrete, so just to bear in mind, because it does get hot on the bottom and you don't want to start a fire or anything like that. And also something just to mention, if you're going to use like a regular wired probe, you'll have to run it through where the rebar goes, and you'll have to run it before you either plug it in or put the probe in the meat, because once you get it all in there, it's kind of hard to finagle all that. But just be mindful of that. It will work, and I just stick mine. It's got a magnet. I stick it to the side. It don't get blazing hot up here too bad. But you can put it on a table. I'd probably be better off putting it on a table beside of it. But you can use this kind of probe in there, and then of course you can use wireless probes. This is what I use now. I've done a review on these. You can check out. I put it in the bottom. But I recommend these if you can spring for them. Hey, they just make life a little bit easier. But yeah, that's kind of something just to be mindful of there. Just run it through before you get going, because you're going to be aggravated trying to take everything back apart to get the wire through. All right, let's move on. Okay, so I'm going to talk about how I go about lighting it. This is not the pit barrel way, but this is Steve's way. First of all, I've got just Kingsford charcoal in there. I fill the basket up about even. I've placed some wood in there, and you can get wood at Walmart in these boxes. Relatively inexpensive to give it whatever flavor you want. I got the mesquite for this one, and then I'm going to use one of these little tumbleweeds. You can find all kinds of fire starters, and I just placed him down in there like that. So I've got wood over here because I want to get that smoke flavor early on in the smoke. You can put wood all through it if you want to, but I think it takes on the wood flavor early in the smoke. And I got my fire starter here, so it'll start there and it'll start working its way across. And all you have to do is light the fire starter. You can do it while it's sitting down in the drum and just light it up. Leave the lid off for about 15 minutes because this has got some wax in it. You want that to burn up completely. And then after that, I just put the lid on it for about 20 minutes, 20 to 30 minutes, and let the drum come up to temperature, and I'm ready to go. That's just the way I do it. Like I said, that's not the official way Pit Barrel does it, but I think this is a whole lot easier and it just works for me. So just a little tip for you. So there it is. So simple, so easy, and I highly recommend it. It's at the right price point. If you look down below, you can see there's 3 different options to choose from: small, medium, large, I guess you'd say. And you can see the prices on all of those. Very affordable, nice entry level smoker. I don't know if I'm going to graduate to something else or not, but man, it does the job. So if it's not broke, don't fix it. Like I said, I give it a thumbs up, and until next time, go smoke you some delicious barbecue or whatever you want, and may the Lord bless you.